Welcome to Mr. Brown's Basement, a channel devoted to sharing the craft of repairing, restoring, and modifying vintage electronic gear, and other random stuff. According to this art and antiques website, my barrel organ was made in the 1950s by Claudio Reig S.A. in Spain. That company had been around since 1934, making a variety of children's toys, including a wide assortment of musical instruments for children. Claudio Reig S.A. still exists, but under the name Reig Musicalis. I reached out to them for any information they could provide on this barrel organ, but they have not responded. If they eventually do, I'll provide an update in the description section below. Here is my Reig Verbena barrel organ. I'm sharing it because it's just so darn neat it's worth sharing. This was a toy given to me by my late uncle many years ago. I loved playing with it. I would open it up and watch it work for hours. It's made up of wood, which has been lacquered and decorated. It measures about 15¼ high by 15 wide by 8 deep at its widest point. This is the program handle. I'll get to it in more detail a bit later. The rear, you can see it was made in Spain, and it's organ number 728. There's nothing much on this side. And there we go, back to the front. There may have been a knob there, and a knob there, but they're long since gone. I probably took it apart thousands and thousands of times as a little kid. That was part of the pleasure of playing with it. Like this, you can see the mechanism and how it operates. The reason why it's called a barrel organ is because it has this blue thing with nubs on it, and those nubs hit a lever which then move one of these hammers. The hammers correspond to different notes and different instruments. Some of the notes are off, but I think that's part of the charm. There's something special about tactile, interactive toys. I think they're good for growing children's brains. The way it's played is by turning the crank. This barrel has 4 songs, and they're selected with this handle, which shifts the barrel back and forth. Here I'm going to move it from one song to the next, and back. And as you see, it moves the whole roll over. So let's have some music. Here's the first song on the roll. The next song. I always like that last part. Here is number 3. Not quite in tune, but that's okay. And the last one. That cam has been replaced. The original was made out of
very soft pot metal and wore out. I was very lucky to find somebody that had made reproduction or replacement cams. I'll put a link in the description below
for the man who was making replacement cams, in case you need one too.
Other than the potential problem with the cam, the nubs on the barrel are very fragile, and when they fall off you lose that note. There are a few notes which are missing, unfortunately. If I knew of a good way of fixing it, I would probably fix it. It is possible to take the barrel out and put in another one. I do actually have another one, but I've never tried to put it in. Maybe one day I will. I'm very grateful to my uncle for giving this to me. I just loved to watch it work.
I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please consider giving me a thumbs up and subscribing to Mr. Brown's Basement for more interesting and unusual videos.